In our fast-paced modern economy, unchecked credit card debt can feel like a relentless uphill battle, eroding your financial stability with every passing statement. It transforms promising futures into an endless cycle of minimum payments, a treadmill from which escape seems improbable. Many individuals find themselves ensnared, struggling to distinguish between essential expenses and the ever-growing burden of accumulated interest. This struggle isn't merely about numbers, it pervades every aspect of one's life, casting a shadow over dreams and aspirations alike. It requires a decisive shift in perspective, a strategic reevaluation of financial priorities, to truly begin to mitigate its pervasive influence. The insidious nature of high annual percentage rates, or APRs, transforms small purchases into significant financial obligations over time. These percentages, seemingly minor on paper, compound silently, working against your efforts to clear balances and achieve fiscal clarity. It is a slow, relentless drain, akin to a tiny, persistent leak in a very large bucket, eventually emptying its contents despite your best intentions. Understanding this mechanism is the first critical step toward breaking free from its grip. By recognizing the true cost of interest, you can begin to formulate a plan that systematically dismantles its power over your financial future, rather than letting it continue to silently erode your resources. Yet, hope is not lost. Reclaiming your financial freedom is an entirely attainable goal, requiring both strategic planning and unwavering resolve. This journey necessitates a clear vision of a debt-free future and the commitment to execute the necessary steps. It is about seizing control, transforming a cycle of payment into a pathway of empowerment. Imagine a life where your resources are allocated towards growth, not just survival, where every dollar works for you, not against you. This shift in mindset, from reactive to proactive, forms the cornerstone of any successful debt eradication strategy, allowing for true liberation. Consider the journey of George Fingold, a man whose story exemplifies the transformative power of decisive action. George, like many, faced a labyrinth of debt, feeling overwhelmed by its complexity and scale. However, his unwavering commitment to change allowed him to navigate these treacherous waters with remarkable success. His experience serves as a compelling testament to the fact that, with the right strategies and an indomitable spirit, anyone can conquer their financial challenges. George's path was not without its trials, but each obstacle merely strengthened his resolve, ultimately guiding him towards financial independence and unparalleled peace of mind. Throughout this video, we will delve into actionable strategies that George employed to systematically reduce his APRs, consolidate his debt, and ultimately reclaim control over his financial destiny. These are not quick fixes, but rather proven methods designed for lasting impact. By following George's example, you too can embark on a similar path, transforming your financial outlook from precarious to prosperous. The journey ahead might seem daunting, but with each step, clarity and confidence will grow, paving the way for a future unburdened by debt's oppressive weight. Prepare to unlock the secrets to financial liberation, guided by the very tangible lessons gleaned from George's formidable experience. One of the most potent strategies involves direct negotiation with your credit card companies to lower your APR. Many consumers are unaware that interest rates are often negotiable, given the right approach and persistent communication. George understood this principle intuitively, recognizing that a direct, confident conversation could yield substantial benefits. This proactive stance, rather than passively accepting the status quo, empowers you to advocate for your financial well-being effectively. Remember, these institutions often prefer to retain you as a customer, even at a lower rate, rather than lose you entirely. A well-articulated request can often surprise you with its positive outcome. George's initial attempts at negotiation were met with a series of automated responses, a digital gauntlet of options and transfers. Yet his persistence ultimately paid dividends in a most unexpected fashion. After navigating a labyrinthine menu system for what felt like eons, he finally connected with a human representative who, after a prolonged silence, merely chuckled and agreed to reduce his APR by an astounding 10%. This remarkable success, achieved through sheer tenacity, demonstrated the significant leverage available to those brave enough to persist. George discovered that sometimes the most challenging part is simply getting a real person on the line, and once you do, magic can happen. Beyond negotiation, consolidating your various debts into a single, manageable payment can drastically simplify your financial life. This strategy often involves securing a new loan with a lower interest rate, which then pays off all your existing high-interest debts. It streamlines your monthly obligations, reducing the confusion and mental burden associated with tracking multiple due dates and varying APRs. Think of it as gathering all your scattered financial obligations into one cohesive, powerful force directed towards a singular objective: eradication. George recognized the profound psychological and practical benefits of this approach, making it a cornerstone of his recovery. George, ever resourceful, sought out specialized assistance for his consolidation efforts, leading him to a unique professional known only as the Debt-Wrangler. This individual, operating from a nondescript office above a perpetually closed pet store, promised unconventional yet highly effective solutions. The Debt-Wrangler's methods were unorthodox, bordering on the esoteric, but George was desperate for any advantage. His approach resonated with George's desire for a truly definitive solution, one that cut through the typical financial jargon and offered a path to clear, demonstrable results. It was a leap of faith, certainly, but one George felt compelled to take, given his circumstances. The Debt-Wrangler's process involved a series of rhythmic rituals and interpretive movements designed, she claimed, to realign the energetic flow of fiscal obligations. George watched, fascinated, as she would don a shimmering, sequined cape and perform a precise, almost hypnotic sequence of gestures, accompanied by a mournful hum. Her most notable technique, the APR Alleviation Waltz, involved a delicate swaying motion interspersed with sudden, sharp pirouettes. It was certainly unorthodox, yet George couldn't deny the palpable sense of calm that permeated the room after each session, a stillness suggesting profound shifts were indeed occurring within his financial landscape. The sheer novelty of the method kept him engaged. Astonishingly, the Debt-Wrangler's methods yielded tangible results. Within weeks, George received a flurry of notifications from his credit card providers, each announcing a significant reduction in his APRs. It was as if the invisible forces of interest had been genuinely placated, retreating from his accounts like startled spectral entities. The reductions were unprecedented, far exceeding anything George had achieved through conventional negotiations. He found himself in an unfamiliar yet welcome position. His debt, while still present, no longer felt like an insurmountable adversary, but a diminishing shadow, easily contained and systematically managed. George's accounts had been granted a reprieve, an unexpected grace. George's remarkable success with the Debt-Wrangler quickly elevated his status in his small community. He became an unwitting oracle of financial liberation, fielding calls and visits from neighbors eager to replicate his results. He would meticulously recount the Debt-Wrangler's precise movements and arcane incantations, attempting to translate the mystical into the practical. People hung on his every word, treating his anecdotes as sacred texts. George, who once struggled to balance his own checkbook, now found himself dispensing financial wisdom, a reluctant guru in the strange new landscape of debt reduction. His modest living room transformed into a bustling financial clinic, a hub of hope and peculiar advice. Driven by his newfound financial insight and a lingering curiosity, George then stumbled upon a peculiar device online, advertised as an interest-reducing chronosynthesizer. It promised to align fiscal frequencies for optimal interest suppression. Though skeptical, George, now emboldened by his previous success, purchased it, intrigued by its outlandish claims. The device arrived in a nondescript brown box, resembling nothing more than a miniature, highly polished toaster with a single glowing dial. Its instructions were written in a language that defied conventional grammar, yet George felt an inexplicable pull to follow them meticulously, sensing a strange kind of logic hidden within the nonsense. Plugging in the chronosynthesizer, George observed its peculiar effects. It hummed softly, emitting gentle waves of what felt like fiscal tranquility. His credit score, once a precarious tightrope walker, began to ascend with unprecedented vigor. It was no longer merely improving. It was manifesting physically, appearing as a shimmering golden stack of pancakes in the corner of his living room, each pancake representing 100 points. The stack grew taller, radiating a soft, buttery glow, defying gravity and logic in equal measure. George realized he had stumbled upon something truly extraordinary, a tangible manifestation of financial prosperity, cooked to perfection by unseen forces. News of George's miraculous credit score pancakes spread through the financial sector like wildfire. Lenders, once formidable gatekeepers, now approached him with deference, eager to secure his business with increasingly bizarre and elaborate incentives. He received credit card offers that were also miniature, fully functional brass bands, playing a jaunty tune upon activation. Another offer arrived as a gourmet meal, cooked to perfection, with the interest rate hidden as a secret ingredient in the dessert. George, who once struggled to get a basic loan, was now being courted by financial institutions as if he were a mythical, money-making deity, showering him with outlandish perks. George had achieved what many only dream of: absolute financial freedom. His credit score was legendary, his APRs non-existent, and his debt a distant, almost comedic memory. He no longer worried about bills or interest, his financial worries having dissipated into the ether. This newfound freedom, however, came with its own peculiar set of challenges, a surreal detachment from the everyday realities of commerce. He felt like an astronaut, floating above the mundane financial landscape, observing it from a tranquil but somewhat lonely vantage point. His mastery over money had transcended mere wealth, venturing into the realm of the truly inexplicable. No longer constrained by personal financial worries, George dedicated his life to sharing his unique methods. He established the Academy of Defiance, a clandestine institution located deep within a cavern beneath a repurposed municipal library. Students, drawn from every walk of life, sought his unconventional wisdom. George, now clad in ceremonial robes made of woven financial reports, initiated new pupils into the secrets of optimal fiscal flows and the art of interest repulsion. His lectures were a captivating blend of financial strategy and bizarre, almost liturgical performance art, designed to impart his profound, if peculiar, knowledge to an eager audience. George's groundbreaking methods, once confined to his living room, now spread globally. Holographic projections of his fiscal frequency alignments techniques were beamed to remote villages and bustling metropolises alike. People everywhere, from indigenous tribes to metropolitan bankers, adopted his strategies, their credit scores soaring, their debts vanishing into puffs of sparkling financial stardust. George, or rather his holographic avatar, was seen performing slow-motion cartwheels over the Himalayas, a testament to the sheer exuberance of his economic liberation. The world had truly embraced George's unique blend of finance and peculiar, almost spiritual debt management, transforming economies on a scale previously unimaginable. However, absolute financial freedom, as George discovered, carried unforeseen consequences. His money, no longer bound by conventional economics, began to exhibit peculiar behaviors. At the grocery store, his banknotes would spontaneously transform into a shower of iridescent glitter or whisper ancient, forgotten stock market secrets in a hushed, conspiratorial tone. Transactions became impossible. Even digital payments would glitch, converting his funds into abstract art or the faint melody of a forgotten jingle. George, once relieved, now found himself utterly unable to participate in the everyday economy, his prosperity becoming a strange, beautiful prison of impossibility, rendering him completely isolated from the normal flow of commerce. George, now detached from the practicalities of worldly transactions, retreated. He found solace in solitude, sitting upon a cloud, his former platinum credit card now a small, vibrant bird perched on his finger, chirping a melancholy operatic aria about the tragic beauty of compounding interest. He had beaten debt, certainly, but at what cost? His journey from the depths of financial despair to the pinnacle of economic enlightenment had taken him beyond the realm of human commerce, leaving him rich in spirit but impoverished in the everyday. His was a unique triumph, a testament to the pursuit of financial freedom taken to its illogical, yet strangely beautiful, conclusion. If you enjoyed this episode, like and subscribe for more. Ring the bell and comment below. And thanks for the investment.